Hey, welcome back, engineers. So for this video, we are going to create this basic sketch. This is what the final product looks like. We're going to go ahead and create this on the top plane. So let's go ahead and delete this and start all over. Step one, we want to make sure we're working in millimeters. We also want to make sure that we're sketching on the top plane. So let's go ahead and click on these three lines here. We're going to select workspace units. And we want to make sure that we're working in millimeters for our length. So click millimeter, hit the check mark. And now let's begin our first sketch. So I click sketch. I select my top plane, and I want to make sure I'm looking at the top plane itself. So I'm clicking on this box, but right at the top. For step number two, I'm creating these two circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, and a construction line. Notice we are connecting the circles right at the origin. So let's click on this circle point, center point circle. Click on the origin, move outward, click on the origin again, move outward. Do not worry about the size or any of the constraints. So by the way, constraints, if I click on this box, notice that these two little items come up. These two items right here are saying that my two circles are connected to the origin. So the circles are centered at the origin. So let's go ahead and click on line. I'm going to click on this point here. This is going up. Notice we're at a little angle up here. Let's go ahead and make that little angle. Go down a little bit. Go to the left. So these look like straight lines. So let's go ahead and try to make them straight lines. Notice some constraints are popping up. And we'll make sense of that later. And then this one, let's connect it right at the bottom of the circle. All right, a lot popped up. We'll make sense of it in a moment. Oh, we forgot our construction line. So I click on line, construction, clicking on my origin, and I'm going to select the center of this line right here. Notice a little emblem popped up with the line and a dot. Construction line is connected to this vertical line right at the center. All right, so now for constraints. So all of these little icons need to be shown on our end. So we have our vertical, our constraint, our coincidental point, vertical, vertical. So these lines are placed vertically about the origin. This little squiggly, the circle with the line, can't really see it there. It's this right here, it's tangent. We can click T. So we're making this line tangent to this one. And this line is already tangent to this line here. So let's keep moving forward. This line is also horizontal. So let's click on this horizontal or an H and click on this line. We also want to make this bottom line a horizontal. And then we also want to make this a horizontal. All right, notice how items are moving. So some items will move with others because there are constraints. All right, so this is coincidental. That's good. We have 3 vertical lines. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're good. Another horizontal and another horizontal here. Make sure we click this and this to ensure that they're horizontals. We have 3 vertical lines that are identical. So we're clicking on these 3 lines here, and we're going to click on the equal sign or E. And once again, everything is changing because of the constraints. That is okay. All right, so now we have this midpoint here. So that's already good to go. In case you do not have this line as a midpoint, I'm going to go ahead and delete this real quick. So I'm clicking midpoint. I select the vertical line and then the dot that is connected to the construction line. For step 4, we are adding 1 dimension. So let's click on the letter D or select this dimension tool here. You may not be able to see all of these icons, so select the drop-down menu and open all of these icons. All right, so we need to create a length for this line. So let's go downwards, add a value of 200. And notice everything is enlarged. So step 5, now we're adding 1, 2, 3 dimensions. So let's start off by adding a distance between these 2 lines. Notice right there it says 9. I'm going to shift outwards to have more room to write. And I'm putting a value of 35. There you go. You can move that a little bit closer now. This length will have a value of 50. Notice this change, and this change because once again, this line is equal to the other 2 vertical lines. And finally, we add a value to this of 70. For step 6, we're adding 2 circles and 2 construction lines. So let's go ahead and click this. And notice we are only on the one sketch. So let's click there and let's click there. All right, we're going to say that these two are equal to each other. So I'm clicking E for equal. Click on the top circle, bottom circle, and now they change in size together. I'm going to add the construction lines. So I'm clicking here, and we're right at the center of this one. So I'll just do that. I don't really care about it. Line construction, doing it again, clicking on the center of the circle, clicking on this line. All right, so now we need to ensure that this line is at the midpoint of this vertical line. So let's click on the vertical line, hit midpoint, and then hit the dot of the end of the construction line. And let's actually make this a horizontal. There we go. We'll make this one a horizontal as well. And now let's center it. We're going to center the construction line, and we're also moving the circle because the circle is locked into the construction line. So I'm clicking midpoint. I select my line and the end point of the construction line. And voila, it's there. Now let's add these 2 dimensions. We're adding a value of 25 millimeters to the circle. I'm clicking 25. And notice both circles adjust. And then I'm adding a length for the construction line with a value of 35. And I'm putting a value of 35. I'll do the same to the bottom. And in fact, we can just hit the equal sign. So I'm going to make this construction line equal to the bottom construction line, and it adjusts just like what was going on at the top. All right, now for step 7, we hit the check mark. We are completely done. All right, so for step 8, all we're doing is checking our work. So we're going to select this highlighted region, get our area, go to the self-check, and then check to see if our area is correct and if we did our work correct. So to do this, we're going to be here on our drawing. We're going to click this region here. We're not selecting the circles, just this area. And we're getting this area here. Thanks for watching. Check out the other videos.